Welcome to my recap of games 1 and 2 in the recent European Pro Qualification tournament, which crowned the 9th European professional player. This was a match between Lucas Patpera and Jan Samara, two Czech players. They played a fantastic game, and the winner definitely deserved their pro title. Hard fought, well earned. Let's take a look at game 1. Jan Samara is black, Lucas Patpera is white. They play a standard AI opening. And Jan Samara defends his group straightly, like this. This first game was filled with many moments where it felt like the players were testing each other, testing the waters, wading in a little bit. They're probing moves before their real attacks and strengths could show. White just took some territory on the right side, black took territory on the left side. White took more territory on the right side, black took territory in the bottom right. White took more territory on the left side, black reduced from the top side. White starts the game. Up until now, all the moves have just been big moves. Some of them will be bigger than others. You could say it was a small difference, but nothing major could happen. But this one starts the first fighting. Black Hanes in the corner. I have no idea why people do this, I'm gonna be honest. Attaching to the 4-4 with a small knight's enclosure is bad, because black should Hane outside. Then the standard Joseki, it goes like this. White Hanes, black extends up. White is surrounded. White can save the group by taking Tiger's Mouth, diagonal, black blocks, and then the vital point. So white is alive, white has the territory, black has the influence. This is not a Joseki, but people play it all the time. I don't know why. This is bad for white. This is good for black. So you shouldn't attach to your opponent's 4-4 with a small knight enclosure, like Lucas Patpera did. You shouldn't do this because they can Hane outside, and they get a too good result. That's too much influence for the territory that's gotten. And then for some reason, a lot of people play Hane inside. I don't know why this happens. This should not happen anymore. But they do it like this. And Lucas plays here. Attach on top. Normally, this is just asking to be split, like this. But this is too early on in the match for such exciting fighting to happen. They still need to test the waters, wade their toes in, and so Jan Samara backs off. Lucas gets to block like this, Jan Samara captures. So Lucas manages to make some shape outside, Samara Ataris and extends. So at the end of the day, Samara has taken a territorial result in the corner, as he wanted when he Haned inside, and Lucas gets to make a group on the bottom side. He can attach on top now. It's very nice. Samara can save that stone, so he headbutts Hanes, and Lucas has no choice but to connect, allow black to connect back. But Lucas can save his group too. And overall, this is something of a success for white, but nothing special, of course. They're still waiting their toes. They're still waiting for the chance to make a proper fight. Now black plays peep and jumps into the center. Okay, the more active way, the way we'd see if it was later in the game, would be like this, but he's patient. He waits like this. White jumps out. He wasn't restricted. He can save his group running out. And black comes to the left side. Jan Samara is ready. He's ready to start the fight, but so is Lucas. He plays on top. I've surrounded you. What are you going to do about it? Jan Samara plays a peep exchange and then this move, and he's looking to make it so that he can attach and crosscut and have a threat to any white group that would try to save itself towards the bottom. That's why Samara played these forcing exchanges. Lucas chooses to play Atari here, and then Atari and Tiger, like this. So he wants to save his group by running to the side and say that these black stones have not successfully restricted white. Then if white can capture the corner and continue to attack this black, it should be a good position for white. So black tries Atari, and here he says, try and run, I think you're not restricted. And Lucas realizes at this point that he has to play here. I was watching the game live, by the way. I think he, like me, expected that white could play here. But actually, there's a problem with this. First, black can run, and white will have to run too. White can't just suddenly try to be very passive inside his territory. But once this kind of thing happens, black can play the wedge here. And black is aiming at two things. If you Atari somehow, then black can make a ko like this. This is pretty destructive. This is not what you want to see if you're white. So the move that I thought would be possible would be here. But actually, it's not possible because in this case, black can play here and then this one. At this point, white can't even cut and make a ko because black would actually sacrifice that one stone, block here, and when white captures, block here, and the whole white is dead, it's obviously a huge disaster. So the point is, if you jump, the reason why he extended, if you jump, you leave that wedge behind, and it's really annoying. So he realized at this time, oh, I have to just extend. This is as much as I can get. But black makes this Atari first, so black is ready for capture races in the corner, and then blocks. So black just solidified himself with both of the groups that are now surrounding this white, and this white is in huge trouble. Lucas throws in one time, and black answers. And then he chooses to try to run it out through the center. So he does this, and push, black Ataris, and connects, and Lucas cuts. But black can run like this. Lucas has to spend another move, and this sequence gives black the chance to turn on top of this white wall. So don't you remember, at the start of this variation, black was jumping into a perspective white framework. And now, somehow, yeah, white still has that small territory in the upper left, but black split off part of the white framework and is attacking it. It's almost dead even, that white 4-stone group. If I were playing this game, I wouldn't even try to save it. I would just go somewhere else and hope to eventually get a chance to come back into this game. But this upper left corner was definitely a disaster for Lucas Podpera because his planning wasn't quite pristine regarding whether those preparation stones that Jan Samara played were actually restricting him or not. So it was very nice for Jan, and it worked out very nice. And I think Lucas had a lot of pressure in his head right now. I think he was really feeling that this game was very hard. He tried to immediately save those 4 stones, and this is really risky because if they die, black can play on the top side, get even more influence, and then you wouldn't get anything inside. So Lucas has to make something of this now. He chooses to start with jump. Okay, black answers, and then he just connects. Oh, this language is so strong for Lucas. He's saying, I will live in here or I will break out. Either way, I'm going to be able to save this group. Now, I dare you to do something about it. He's basically asking for Jan Samara to make some mistake in his attacking direction so that Lucas can bring back the game right away from this mistake in the upper left corner, and he can bring it back to even as fast as possible. That's what he's asking for. Jan Samara chooses to play from the outside. Personally, I would have chosen to play from the inside here, because white is still surrounded. It's still very hard for white, but this way is also fine. When white does this one, Jan Samara played here, which is a crazy move. It's trying to reduce this white eye space. So if white can't make 2 eyes in this space and just has to curl up and only take 1, then white will die. That's Jan Samara's plan. But Lucas is a skilled group saver. He is very good at saving this kind of thing. He knows that he should use all of the weaknesses that black has, so he attaches here. He tries to break out. Black should seal it in, and he tries to break out again, and black should seal it in like this. He makes another Atari, so he's expanded his eye space a little bit by asking to break out, and now he comes down to block here, black blocks, and wedge. Actually, black had made a critical mistake in this variation, and Lucas is now alive. Instead of playing the bamboo there, black was supposed to start with a push here first, and then play the bamboo. That would have made the white space a bit smaller, but also made a cut for those 2 stones. If black had made that exchange, then the variation which white would play in the game would not live. So let's go and see how that worked. White played this wedge, black Atari'd, and white saved like this. Now black saved here, and white played here. Black now pushes here, and if only white had to play here, if only black had done this earlier and gotten this exchange, black would be able to simply capture and nothing would happen for white. But because black hadn't gotten that exchange yet, white has the liberty to sacrifice those 2 stones. He starts by capturing the ko ones first, and black plays a ko threat, but actually white can just capture here, White threatens a second eye in the center, so black needs to cut off those 2 stones, and white takes his second eye on the side. Now if black will save here, white will capture here, the white group is alive. So the attack failed for Jan Samara. Lucas got his mistake, and he managed to get back in the game quickly, just as he wanted. Yeah, it's very difficult to kill this guy. You have to find that bad exchange looking push through to make a liberty shortage, expose a cut, reduce the eye space. It was possible, but it was hard. So the game is back to nearly even now. It's balanced because although black broke something in the upper left, white then broke something in black's left side. Black goes on the attack. So the remaining weakness on the board is the white weak group on the bottom. Black will pressure that with his next move. So he peeps once here. I say peep because white's about to jump. And then splits like this. Splitting the large knight where the small knight would be is a common tesuji. Okay. White extends back. So he wants to defend his right side and defend his group on the bottom. He should have enough time to do both. So black tries peeping once. White needs to fix. If not, then black would play the double peep in the center and connect back either way. And black connects, becoming thick in between the 2 white commitments, the territory and the weak group. White runs, black pushes, and white tries to swallow a stone with his weak group. Now black runs it out one time, which lets white run. This is an aggressive way for black to play, but he thinks he can continue to keep this white group separated from the right. He jumps, and white jumps to secure the right side, and black splits off the white group on the bottom from connecting back. White tries to run, black hanes, white runs, and black sees a chance to give white an empty triangle. So he pushes once, and white has to block like this, taking an awkward shape. Black blocks on the top side. So black wants to keep white running with his weak group, and in doing so, build something in territory value on the top. But white doesn't want to run just yet. He first chooses to cut. Push, push, cut. Black jumps, saving his 3 stones, and with this exchange, white has made it so that the black group that was splitting this white becomes a little bit weak. So white can now attach here at N3 and cause the weaknesses on the side and the weaknesses in the center to become a double threat to black. But black correctly realizes the center isn't quite a threat yet. He hanes back and connects on the bottom side, and there's no way for Lucas Pepera to yet capture the black stones in the center, so he just goes back to defend his weak group again and try to put the pressure on those 2 stones. Actually, this isn't a full net. It looks like he's trying to capture, but anytime black could run these stones out here. If white would continue to block outside, black can play this move. It's Atari. If white answers, then black can Atari these 3 stones and save. Lucas is only playing here so that he can force these 2 stones to have to save themselves if Samara ever wants to attack his group on the bottom side. Black plays an interesting attachment here. He wants white to answer and then to crosscut here. Now white can eat this stone, but Jan Samara gains something towards the cuts in the upper right. He doesn't take it right away. He goes to clamp here and then run out those 2 attacking stones. White simply connects here, black can peep, and try to attack this group on the bottom side. White has a chance to save this group elegantly right now. He could do the same tesuji that he would do later in the game, but for now he saves it. He instead just captures this ko, thinking that this might be the territorially best way to attack, trying to gain the territory in the bottom left corner. And black takes the time to fix his connection to the center. Now that center group wouldn't be cut anytime soon, but when white attacks it, white might get a chance to invade the corner. So by doing this, Samara is mostly securing his corner. Actually, he could secure it a little bigger by playing this way, but this is good enough too. And white pushes. Then black plays this Kasumi. This Kasumi actually was the losing move. It looks fine. It looks like black is just lightly harassing this white group and gaining a little bit of territory while he does it, but he didn't see Lucas Pepera's really good way to save this group. You can feel free to pause the video and see if you can find Lucas's great saving tesuji. Lucas plays here. Then Samara has to run, he has to save his stones, but Lucas has made himself, as if by a driving tesuji, he's made himself a split shape as he can run out. Now what Samara does is he tenukis now. If Samara would continue to try to keep this white group under pressure, then white could play here. And it makes Mii between this cut, capturing those 4 stones, which would instantly live the white group, and if black takes that cut, to wedge here. Black cannot break out. It would be self-Atari. So when white plays here, it's a double threat. Either he can connect to his upper left, or he can capture the center. It was a very beautiful sequence to start with the capping move, making his own split shape so as to have a double threat at the end. Very beautiful. It shows why this Kusumi was too slow, but that's a really tough thing to anticipate as the black player. All right, black understands that he doesn't really have anything great to do right now, so he starts by playing these cutting tesujis. White captures here. If white would have played here, black had a plan of Atari and capturing these 2 stones. So white had to defend here. That's why the black crosscut happened earlier, because now black can cut and attach. This one is sente. And finally, black comes back to save his stones in the center, which means white can push through and save his group by connecting it to the upper left. Black wants to harass that, build some more territory, but white finds a very nice timing to cut. Black plays Atari from this side, which is very unnatural. It's an empty triangle. Black would have preferred to do it from this way, but white now had a cutting move here. And if black would save those 3 stones, white would Atari and Atari. The 3 stones of black are captured. So black was not able to play that outside Atari that he'd like to, but instead just an inside Atari like this, allowing white to come back to his upper left, even making some points while he does it, and black can only take some small territory on the top side and gote at the end. This is just about to be the start of the end game, and white shows how you transition from the middle game to the end game perfectly here. White plays push once, so using the last couple weaknesses to establish some potential territory gains later, but not to just take them right away, but to find all the most sente moves around the sides and the corners. So he finds this almost double sente Kusumi. Black chooses to answer. If black could have had S7 first, then maybe white would have chosen to answer. So you can think of all this gain that white got as free. It's huge. You have to get this kind of thing just before the end game starts. And white finally goes to the biggest place at S17. It's also sente, because otherwise white would get a huge territory gain in the corner. White plays another sente. Black has to answer. And white plays the biggest gote. Finally, this starts the end game. But we've started the end game and white got all the big end game already. How is that fair? The transition between middle game and end game is really easy to mess up, and black just lost control one time by playing the Kasumi on the bottom, and he couldn't get control back for the rest of the game. Lucas steamrolled him into the end game, taking the territory leads in every part of the board, and from here on out, Lucas would keep a solid lead for the rest of the game. So we can watch the rest of the game, but in the meantime, I will briefly summarize. What happened was basically they stayed gentlemanly at the start, and Jan Samara made this fighting in the upper left very nicely. Lucas got himself tricked somehow. I think he didn't really anticipate how strong Jan Samara's plan was. And he ended up in a desperate situation, but managed to save it by living fantastically on the left side. After that, they played some nice fighting in the middle game, but Lucas managed to transition into the end game perfectly after he saved his weak group on the bottom side very naturally. So at the end of the day, Lucas won the game, although it looked very good from Jan Samara at the start. Here, by the way, there actually was something if instead of white S2, white would have played here. But I think Lucas didn't see Jan's plan against S2, which was actually quite nice. It looks like this is going to be something for white for sure, that white will force black to spend some move inside his territory later, but black has the great move of cut. Then when white would capture, which he doesn't, he just goes about his day like normal. If white would capture, black can Atari and play here, and this becomes a one eye for black versus no eye situation for white. So white is dead without black having to spend another move. That's why they continue on with the rest of the endgame, and that's actually the final move. White wins this game by 8.5 points. So Lucas is up 1-0. This was the only game on Saturday, and game 2 was Sunday morning. So I'm sure that Samara was a bit nervous heading into Sunday, and Lucas must have slept well, managing to make a fantastic comeback. All right, game 2. Lucas Bedvera was black, Samara was white. This game was a day after the previous game in the morning. Let's take a look. The game starts again. Natural AI moves, somewhat territorial style. So far, there's nothing special that strong players haven't played many times before. This is a common Joseki in the upper left. Often black continues with one more move there, but Lucas Bedvera chose to go directly to the upper right corner. That's fine too. He takes away the corner, white presses, and Lucas fixes his shape with the Hane and connect. So Samara defends his cutting point. Lucas goes to the bottom side. So far, everyone has taken big moves. Nothing very important has happened, but black has a lot of corners, and white has this big influence on the top side. White is patient though. He just jumps out. He isn't panicked. He knows as long as everyone was just taking big points and no direction was very wrong, it can't be that bad. So he will wait for his chance. He just continues jumping out, and black builds something pretty impressive looking in the bottom side. But white doesn't care. He just goes, builds his top side, looks towards reducing the black bottom side, and black reduces of his own. If white would just answer this, then black is looking to take the bottom side naturally and sort of show white that it would be split intentions to care both about building the top side and reducing this black bottom at the same time. So white chooses to emphasize on black's territory and reducing. So he attaches here. It's quite an interesting one. It's looking to build some influence and then attack this stone with power not just on the top side, but also from the bottom right. So Lucas plays here. Jan Hane is looking to build his power, and Lucas cuts. And Atari is here. This is a Joseki which Lucas Bedvera likes to play a lot, and it's because it's quite awkward for white. White can Atari here, but when black runs like this. Now, Samara plays the safe move, which is to play Tiger's Mouth here on the 3-3. And the reason why this is safe is it allows black to turn. White can capture the corner, but black gets another Atari here. And white's corner is somewhat small, since white has to connect here. It's not really that great, and black's influence is quite nice. Black can continue now in the center. So this Joseki is played often. There's some other routes that Samara can go through, but they're pretty complicated, and Lucas Bedvera knows them well, so he just chose to go the simple way and allow Lucas some slight advantage in that his influence is good. But Jan Samara says, okay, you have some nice influence there. That's okay. I'll just take my top side. And if he has a nice living group in the bottom corner and then also gets the top side, then what could be so wrong, right? Lucas tries to finish off this one stone. Samara plays Hane. So Lucas tries to capture. Samara Ataris. Now, if Lucas would just capture that, then Samara will connect. So Lucas cuts here. Makes it more interesting when Samara captures, which he should. Lucas plays the Atari. Now, that white Ponuki is almost surrounded. It's going to be really hard to save. So what white should do now is just honestly give up. Not even try to save. You can reduce from the bottom side, reduce from the right side, and eventually this capturing a Ponuki is not even that big for black. You could even just ignore it and say, if you try to make this bigger, I can still reduce it. But Samara tries to say, I can save that and I can use your weaknesses, Black. So he tries to peep and peep again. But Lucas punishes pretty well. He plays the push and cut. So he's saying, hey, you wanted to punish me, you wanted to show that this can fight against me, then fight. And actually, it's not very easy for Wait to grip any weaknesses. Wait can Atari this way and block like this. Wait is trying to use the fact that these 4 stones are somewhat isolated to get a forcing move, and he does. Black has to answer. But at the end of the day, this is a very nice black shape in the center, and all that White gained was a couple more stones of territory with his bottom right group. It's definitely not satisfactory for White. So both players know at this point that Lucas Pudpera has taken a big advantage, basically just because White has tried to save the group and pretty much failed. Samara tries to be active. So when you're behind, you want to try to get as much as you can. You want to ask your opponent to take small amounts, and you want to go to all the big areas fast. So he wants Lucas to just slowly take the inside here. Lucas Pudpera knows that that would be a way to lose the game, and he tries to be active. So he tries to seal in the White group on the bottom left, but he misses a nice idea from Samara, which was Atari here. Okay, Lucas can take, but Samara has a couple co-threats, so he can take again, and Lucas should answer. Now Samara's plan was to Atari here. Once again, Lucas can take, but Samara has another co-threat. And when Lucas answers, making sure not to give White a double Panuki, that would be bad, it gives White this splitting move. So the original Knight's move was suddenly poorly placed because of Samara's nice idea relative to the Ko. Yeah, it was a bit naive of Lucas Pudpera to play there and surround this group without checking the Ko condition and whether White could manage that weakness to split through like this. Now Lucas goes over here to take the territory. I think he did this because he got concerned. Maybe his 4 stones can become weak later. Since White has already split over here, it looks like White might be able to get some more influence, and if he seals off the top 2, then maybe they could be attacked, but he always has a code to connect back, so this is definitely a little too passive by Lucas here. He must think that he's still leading quite a lot because of the success on the bottom side, but he isn't leading that much. And when he plays here, it's even worse. This one is 2 points worse than this move, and this move also fills another liberty of those 2 stones outside. It leaves more Aji that the 4 stones outside can become weak, but again, that's not really a serious concern for Black, now or in the future. So this move was too passive again, and White gets a chance to go play this really big move on the left side. It would have been great if Black could take that to both secure a base for himself and pressure the base of White on the side, but he missed it. He has to go try to reduce White on the top side. White plays this attach. Black Hanes. Black, I'm sure, was hoping White would do something like descend down, take the territory, but White fights, plays the cutting move. Says, hey, if you want to go to the top side, I will attack you very hard. Black just curls back here. If he would have tried Atari here, if White answers, then Black could connect. This would be great for Black. But White doesn't need to do that. White can play Atari and connect and try to attack this whole Black group and gain value from it having to live. It's actually pretty hard for that Black group to live. Has to pay a lot. That's why Lucas started with just this move, hoping to keep all those White weaknesses, but White took the timing to first exchange something on the left, and he defended here. Now Black cannot capture that one White stone. It looks like there might be some double threat. You can capture that stone or capture this stone, but this stone, it doesn't matter very much, because Lucan had already over-defended his stones in the center. So Black has nothing really to do in the center. He just chooses to go to the right side. You could call this the losing move. It's very patient. It just takes the territory like that. But in doing so, it gives White a nice shape. And the territory over there was nothing special. White even manages to reduce a little more into Black center by getting the extra power. It would be better locally to play the cut. Then if White will try to take territory over here, then Black can break the center and still use the fact that White has cuts over there. Even Black can still get a lot of territory on the side. So it was more important to take the cut than the territory. It was also more important to just do things on the left side right now. There's no efficient move that White can spend to take territory on the right in one move. Black played here. White kicked once and took Sente. This move has surrounded the black upper left. Lucas Pepera treated it as sente and played here. It's because if you would play some other move, let's say this one, then he was afraid that white would play peep here, and after block, then hane. Now, if black tries a ko, white can connect, and of course, if black throws in here, white could reduce. So it looks like this black group should be dead. There are probably some ways to save it using the cuts outside and the cuts over here, but it's very risky. So he just chose to live directly. It's a big territory move. And it gave white the timing to go play this knight's move. This knight's move is defending the white cutting stone and swallowing the whole top side in big form while even building the left side. It's a great move, actually. Lucas finds the best move in response. He attaches across, forcing white to fall back, and then finds the clamp, which is great. Then, when white pushes through, Lucas's point is that white cannot continue to cut because black could Atari these stones, and if they connect, they die. So in doing so, Lucas has managed to break through the knight's move and use the white cutting problems to connect his own shape. But when white simply falls back here, that fixes the cut that black was using to connect. Black needs to reaffirm his connection. Now if white would push, then it would be Atari. And that gives timing to white to cut off that one stone on the top. So white did still manage to seal the whole top side and the left side, despite Lucas's good tesuji. Now, Lucas takes a stone on the bottom side, and that gives the timing for Samara to peep once here and block, and finish off the left side territory. Even though Lucas can soon play hane and connect, Samara can tenuki. And although Lucas can play this clamp, Samara can connect. And Samara has quite a bit of territory on the left side. I'm sure it's much more than Lucas thought he would get in the center, especially considering Samara also managed to make a lot of territory over the top and even play this big move on the right side. Lucas started this game with a really good fight in the bottom right, but just as in the last game, the transition to endgame went super well for Lucas Pepera, and he won off that. In this game, the transition to endgame went very well for white. He managed to find the last critical things to do. He put pressure on the group in the upper left of black instead of taking pressure with his own group, and he managed to seal with this nice knight's move to defend his group fancily. He takes this lead for the rest of the game cleanly into a 1 game. There was a little bit of drama still to remain. In this area, white has some cutting problems. So Lucas chased after them, trying to use them to grow his territory in the center and on the right side. But Samara found this great move, 188, threatens the cut of the 3 stones and the cut of the 4 stones. Black can fix that. First he plays a couple sente moves. He can fix that with this move at 193, but that allows white to play 1 point gain of his moyo on the top side in sente, and black can't take any points here. Black was supposed to play at some point this Atari these 2 stones so that these 4 stones wouldn't have another cut for white to use. Then he could have a couple more points, but to be honest, it didn't matter. At the end of the day, white led this game by 6.5 points. And the end game, although somewhat complicated with the ko's, didn't present a chance to Lucas Pepera to catch up. And so Jan Samara won the second game and tied the series 1-1. They played their third game about an hour or two after this one, in the afternoon and evening of the Sunday, and that game was a thriller. So I'm going to wait to present to you that game in another video, my next video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see that next game. This series was really fun, and these 2 games, I think they showed how difficult it is to hold a lead in the early stage of the game compared to the later stage of the game. If you can transition into the end game, then players of this caliber can usually hold that lead. But before then, it's just too hard. There's so many things going on. Both players who were leading early in the game ended up losing their advantage. and the players who were leading late into the game kept it. So Go is a hard game, and games aren't over until they're over. I'll see you next time. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Bye bye.